He blocked my phone number, so I blocked him on social media. We haven't had any contact since he left. It kills me that I lost him, and I have to deal with all the rumors at work on top of everything else. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to go over a story titled, Was I Wrong for Confessing to Cheating? And a big shout out to Mark for sending me this story. And guys, what we have here is a classic example in this story of the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And also how gals can be married to a really good man and absolutely not give a crap at all about the good husband at home who they're cheating on. And you're going to see this story, guys. This is exactly what's going on. This woman, she's 35, been married, I don't know how long, but long enough. And she's going to go through this whole thing about how she had this crush on this guy at work. And they obviously travel and business together through this whole story about she eventually starts cheating on her husband with him, blah, blah, blah. And the funny thing is, the second that he ends up hooking up with her, he then kicks her to the curb. Because that's what Chad and Tyrone do. Except she doesn't take it very well. And next thing you're going to see, she rats him out to his wife. And you're going to see where this whole thing goes there. So it just never ceases to amaze me. And I thought you guys would find this pretty entertaining. But anyhow, I'll say more at the end. And also, by the way, she's also wondering, did I do the right thing by telling his wife? You know, and you obviously are going to see, in my opinion, she didn't do this because she felt like the wife should know. She did this to get even with him for kicking her to the curb. So, and yet wait till you see the comments. People are tearing her apart in the comment section. So it starts off, says here, was I wrong for telling the wife of her husband cheated on her with me? I felt awful after an affair and admitted not only to my husband, but the guy's wife what happened. Everyone is now telling me that I should not have told her and it wasn't my place to do so. Here is the full story. I'm a 35-year-old woman who has to travel with my male coworkers for work. A little over a year ago, a guy started and I was instantly attracted to him. We had amazing chemistry, and he probably spent too much time sitting at my desk flirting with me. We did have a lot in common too, and quickly became close friends. You're a married woman. You should not be close friends with any guy. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Okay, you're not single anymore. I'm sure you wouldn't be happy if your husband was close friends with a female coworker, or any female for that matter. But no, she already set the stage for it being his fault. He's flirting with me. I'm powerless to his charm. After working and traveling together for about 6 months, I started making flirty comments and jokes that I immediately should not have made, and made it pretty clear that I had a crush on him. What a loyal wife. Our conversations became much more intimate, inappropriate, and we started hanging out outside of work. Not cool, and I'm willing to bet you her husband didn't know about this. And for any of you guys that are husbands or boyfriends, your girl should be hanging out with other dudes. But she probably made out to be like it was like a work-related thing. I was falling for him really hard, but outside of flirting, we didn't actually act on anything. We didn't want anything to jeopardize our marriages or jobs. Well, you are cheating, because you obviously like this dude, and he likes you, or wants to get in your panties, and that's it. So you are cheating. After working together for about a year, my grandmother passed away. She raised me. I took a few days off work, but when I returned, I was still not in the right frame of mind, and I left my headlights on in my car. After work, my car was dead, and I called him to give me a jump. Yeah, I see through that one, honey. Just so happened to have the car died, he was around to give you a jump. You didn't call AAA? You couldn't call your husband? I think she did that on purpose, for an excuse to call him to come help the damsel in distress. Then she could have some alone time with this guy. I basically emotionally broke down, and when he came out to help me, once my car started, I gave him a hug to thank him, but when he did, he held me tight. I sank my face into his chest and listened to the beat of his heart. We just stood there and embraced each other until finally he let go and kissed my forehead and told me I was going to be okay. What the hell is this, a romance novel, lady? The next day, we went out for lunch, and when we got to his truck, he reached over and kissed me on the lips. Then I kissed him back. He told me that he had fantasized kissing me for months. If what she's saying is accurate, this guy is telling her everything she wants to hear. This is how Chad and Tyrone operate. This guy's probably done this with multiple coworkers over the years. He's married, he's a scumbag, but still, she's a scumbag too. When we got back to the office, our boss informed us that we had to go on an overnight trip the next day. On the trip, once we finished our work obligations, we went out in the town. We visited an aquarium, and he held my hand the entire time. He picked a romantic restaurant, and we went bowling, where we had a few drinks and had a fantastic time. Blah, 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 blah. We decided to play a game of pool, but every time he bent over, I would smack his ass to make him miss his shot, and he started grabbing mine. What a great wife. But this is all work, right? We went back to the hotel, and he walked me to my room, and I invited him in. We stayed up all night making love. The next day, he held my hand for an entire 6-hour drive back, but we mostly stayed in silence. After the trip, he would barely look at me. He kept calling in sick, and within a few weeks, he had put in his resignation. He wanted to save his marriage. Isn't that interesting? After all this time of the flirting and carrying on, the second he nailed her, done. And she's probably like, how dare you do this to me? No man does this to me. I felt awful and guilty. I told my husband what happened, and he forgave me. Smack to the husband. I felt like his wife deserved to know why he took a new job and was moving their family 3 hours away. He became very upset that I told her the truth, and everyone said that it wasn't my place to tell. Yeah, she really did that because she cared so much about the feelings of this guy's wife and family. That's her main reason here. It's because hell hath no fury. This guy kicked her to the curb the second he got done hooking up with her, and she's pissed, so she wants to stick it to him. She says he blocked my phone number, so I blocked him on social media. We haven't had any contact since he left. It kills me that I lost him. I have to deal with all the rumors at work on top of everything. I know I deserve the pain, though. So there you go, and I'm going to read some comments in a second. You want to talk about a selfish a-hole, okay? And I feel bad for this girl's husband because I guarantee you, he's obviously just a typical nice guy. He doesn't know any better. And she probably knew exactly what buttons to push with him to get him to forgive her and all that. But listen to how this whole thing about this blah, blah, blah romance story type of crap about this. But she says how she's so upset it's killing her that she lost him. She's not mentioned anything how it kills her about how she hurt her husband. Notice there's no remorse whatsoever in when she writes this or reflects about her husband. What probably happened is she settled for a nice guy, boring, didn't excite her, probably had resources, and then has him provide. Meanwhile, she's having fun on the side because you can't be an empowered girl in this day and age, having some side sausage. But right there. Now, yes, that guy's wife deserved to know. And that guy was a scumbag, too, for cheating on her and her family. But she did not do this because the wife deserved to know. She did it for revenge. And probably hoping maybe they would divorce and she could have her shot at that guy. Who knows? But anyhow, guys, perfect example of the things I was telling you. Now, here's a few comments here. And nobody is buying her bullshit. One guy says, it was his responsibility to tell her. Maybe you hope she'd leave him and you get back somehow. Or was it if I can't have him, I'll make him regret it. Ding, ding, ding. Another guy says, with all due respect, it sounds like you're still in the affair fog. You have a very thorough account of what happened, but your husband is almost an afterthought. You literally only mentioned him once. You seem fixated on your affair partner and his wife. You speak about your affair very romantically instead of remorsefully. You describe the very, to be honest, light consequences you're going through, but you didn't block him on social media until he blocked your number. I think you're still hung up over him. To answer your question, did you do the right thing for the wrong reasons? I think you're upset he ended things and regretted being with you. Now you're experiencing consequences of your selfish actions, and all you can think about is him, his wife, and not your poor husband. Yeah, this poor husband should divorce her, okay? Because you know what? Once this is all over and done with, she'll probably do it again. Because once a cheater, always a cheater. And obviously she's bored in her marriage. Another guy says here, and I like this one, you're a disgusting individual the way you talk all happy in this post. You don't feel awful or guilty for this shit. You're only sad it couldn't continue. This man had a wife and kids, and you're sitting there flaunting your sick affair like it's a love story. Both of you are homewreckers are pathetic. I hope your husband comes to his senses and leaves you alone. Amen. And last one, guy says, she deserved to know, but it doesn't sound like you told her for the right reasons. The way I read it, that you wrote it, is that you were upset that your affair partner didn't continue fornicating. Did you tell your husband and your affair partner were making love, fornicating with you, and when he chose his wife over you, you retaliated? Why did you wait weeks to tell your husband? Why did you wait until after they moved to tell his wife? If you really care about your husband and your marriage, stop worrying about your affair partner and his relationships and start working on what makes you broken. She is broken. And at the end of the day, she probably pulled the waterworks with the husband, and he was probably like, okay, I'll give you another chance. And probably down the road, the same crap will happen again. But again, it never ceases to amaze me. These poor guys have they think they're married a sweet, great girl, and this type of crap happens. And she doesn't care at all. Got a whole world of these types. So for you relationship guys out there, be careful. For you guys, and I say this a lot on my other channel, for you guys that, let's say you didn't get a lot of attention from the gals, high school, college, then you get a little bit older, a little more confident in who you are, you start getting resources, that's key. And all of a sudden, gals that normally wouldn't pay attention to you when you were younger are all of a sudden giving you a lot of attention, but you really haven't changed that much, except for maybe you have a nicer car and some money coming in, good salary and a job that you've been working hard at. Be careful, because there's lots of gals out there when they get to a certain age, all their other girlfriends are starting to shack up with dudes, and they want that nice guy that can provide, and they'll settle for you and put on all the charm and everything, get the guy to marry him, and then this shit happens. That's the usual trend. So be very careful to your relationship guys out there. I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want this to be your story one day that your wife is posting online for the world to see. So, as like I say, guys, these are good, entertaining stories, but there's also good lessons to learn to apply in your own lives. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below and let me know what you think about this. And guys, you come across a good story or article you'd like me to share on the channel, by all means, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I will when I can. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.